To strike the last word.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in fact, we have had, this is not a unique situation, unique to the extent that the House has not acted before in a criminal case of this nature, but in fact the House has acted in the past to intervene in cases where we have determined that the outcome is something we did not agree with. We've done it, we've stripped the courts of certain abilities to actually hear cases. In the past, we've actually passed legislation to overturn cases. One was, of course, the case of the Ten Commandments. Another was, I believe, Congressman Bernie Sanders at the time passed a bill to overturn a case with regard to pension funds. So it is not unique that we would be doing this, and I will yield.
Jurisdictions for the courts. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
We don't have power to adjudicate the guilt or innocence of two individuals.
Reclaiming my time. It is, again, not the position that we are taking here that we are, in fact, changing the decision of the court in regard to their guilt or innocence. We are saying that the punishment handed down is far in excess of whatever it is they may have done wrong. And that is something I think that we have the absolute ability and right to do here. These two gentlemen have served now 190 days, 180 days, something already in prison, and for what? I mean, the most significant thing that we can actually determine, even according to some of the discussions that have been held and some of the statements that have been made by the prosecuting attorneys, they are sorry. They've made mistakes in terms of maybe using the kind of law that using the type of thing. Prosecution that would require this kind of penalty. They've even said this may have been the wrong thing to do. Members of the jury have indicated that if they had seen all of the information now provided to them, they would not have voted this way. So it isn't an issue of the facts of the case so much as it is whether or not we believe these people have actually been have spent enough time in jail. Have they been punished according to the crime? And I would suggest to the gentleman that if you look at this case carefully, certainly that is the case. The person that brought the stuff through, the individual that actually was the drug dealer, he is walking free. And I have visited Mr. Ramos in prison after he was severely beaten in his prison in the cell. I mean, they attacked him in his cell, of course, because they found out he was a federal agent. And I went down there and visited him. And you cannot imagine how, in a way, heartbreaking it is to see this guy in the orange jumpsuit, in shackles, and knowing that he is being deprived of the comfort of his own family, as is Mr. Compean, and here's a drug dealer that's going free in the meantime. It is absolutely incredible. This is a travesty. We have begged the President to please become involved with this. Please pardon. Please commute. He has chosen not to. This is the only option we have open to us, and that is why we are doing what we are doing tonight. And yes, to some extent, I understand that it is not a common practice here, but I think the situation is not an ordinary situation where we have two people who have sworn to defend and protect this country. They are in jail. They have served enough time. That's what we are saying. They have served enough time. Please adopt the Tancredo Hunter Amendment. I yield back the balance of my time. If there were another way to do this, I assure you, we would look at it. We have tried everything imaginable to get these two people to actually get justice, and the justice would be to set them free. And that is what I suggest we do with this amendment, and I certainly would urge this body to adopt the Hunter Tancredo Amendment.